Hello and welcome to a little bonus mini episode of the Wad Fam Chalk Pod.
I'm Andrew Sabo.
I'm Dylan Weaver.
We said it backwards because it's not an official episode.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We can do whatever we want. You're hearing this because we don't have a regularly scheduled episode for this week. I don't know when this episode will be airing. It could air before we finish. We're recording this after Green Ring Part 12, but it could be airing before then. We'll see what happens.
Who knows?
Yeah. Regardless, we're talking today about the bonus scene that sits at the end of Green Ring Part 12. So if you haven't heard that scene, go ahead and give it a listen.
It was not on the CD set because this was my first time hearing it today.
Okay. I was going to say, I think I heard it as part of like an official podcast or something. Mm-hmm. I feel like I was aware of this, but yeah. So to set it up, it's Paul McCusker intros it and is like, after album 50, we were like, we're going to take some time away to rethink this show. And when we come back, we're not quite sure what it's going to look like. So they end album 50 on the 2-part Inspiration Station episode, which is, this new invention Wit has, or whatever. Or no, wait. I lied. We end album 50 on the Imagination Station Revisited, 2-part episode. But then there is a little tag, which is Connie testing out this new invention and Wit going, just push the red button, essentially.
Yeah. And that's
what we go out on an album 50.
That's Paul Herlinger saying that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. It's not his last Wit because he does Truth Chronicles, but it is the end of his Wit. Man.
I think if I listened to that album, I would cry.
Truth Chronicles.
No, album 50.
Yeah, probably. Just knowing all of the stuff that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Or like all the characters there who are truly gone.
Yeah. It hurts.
Yeah. Gone and quite possibly forgotten. Like,
yeah,
it's not even a gone but not forgotten because they do seem to be
pretty much not. I mean, they'll mention, the writers acknowledge obviously that the voice actors that played certain characters died and stuff.
Yeah.
But they definitely don't do a whole lot to tie up some of the characters. They finally did like Tom Riley's funeral arc or whatever. Is that the long end?
What? No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, it's something else.
Anyways, so Paul McCusker kind of sets all that up and then is like, with that whole like little thing, we gave ourselves an out. We're basically like, if we come back and this isn't working, whatever the new thing we devise, we can just have Connie press the button and whoops, it's all a dream.
Yep. It was all the Inspiration Station.
Yep.
And she comes out of the Inspiration Station babbling about all the events of the 3 albums.
Right. So then we see a little scene, which is her getting back from a hike with Penny. Or no, she's on the hike with Penny. Penny leaves. It's just Connie alone. And then Eugene interrupts the Inspiration Station. And Connie goes, oh man, I was only in there for an hour. It felt like, a lifetime. There was this whole thing with, trains and,
Wooten hosted the show and whatever.
Yeah. Wooten's Broken Pencil Show reference. There's a lot of basically those 3 albums. And then McCusker comes back in and he's like, so we kind of gave ourselves this failsafe and we can do it as many times as we want, whenever we want. And I think it's important to note that in the 10 years since, that button has not been pressed. They have not reset the show. Andrew, how do you feel about them giving themselves this out?
I mean, I don't... Okay, so when I heard it, my initial reaction hearing it for the first time, which was earlier today, I was like, wow, that's a really cool idea. I think that's great that they were able to devise that, especially because who was to say what post Paul Herlinger Wit's End and Adventures in Odyssey was going to be like?
Yeah.
But I mean, looking at it now, I don't think that the Inspiration Station can function in that sort of like multiverse capacity, especially considering how far removed we are. I mean, we're almost 20 albums removed from, well, I think the most recent album was 70, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So we're 20 albums removed from album 50, and so many years that I understand that they still have that failsafe. I just don't understand how that could still be super effective later in the show as it pertains to like being an out. I would much rather have them kill off Wit. Like I'm team kill off Wit.
Yeah. I think we've both come out as team we could let Wit die.
Yeah.
It's not a kill off, it's a let him die.
Yeah, exactly.
They keep resuscitating him. We could just let him die.
It's literally live 3 human lifetimes.
Yeah. So I genuinely hate this idea.
Okay.
I think doing it was all a dream for multiple albums of Odyssey, regardless of what point they had done it, is a horrible plan. I understand why they wrote that in for themselves, but I think it sucks.
Yeah, it's a terrible, terrible last-ditch effort plan.
And it is truly a, Hail Mary. Yes. And I think McCusker is acknowledging it here for that reason. Basically, they made it 3 albums. They were feeling confident about the reboot at this point. So they were like, all right, let's pull a peek behind the curtain to show you what we could have done. And then is also going, and also, now so if we do it down the line, you can't be mad about it.
Yeah.
Like, that feels like...
That's essentially what it is. It's an insurance policy at the end of their reboot 12-part arc.
And obviously, we've talked about the fact that, 8 to 12 is the market for Odyssey. And they have been... So that is a 5-year gap. They have been going on with the show in this current state for 10 years, in which case those kids would have cycled through a minimum of twice.
Yep.
So, I don't think that they feel any need to do this. But it is a bit of a bummer to me to think this was a thing that they were considering. Because I think had they done it even after 2 albums, I was right in the pocket, it would have upset me. Because
I don't know that it would have upset me, because I would have been like, well, at least it's over now. They can't make it any worse. They would have stopped well before the ties that bind.
Sure, but I don't know. As a kid listening, I don't think I had any disdain for the new episodes.
Oh, that's fair. Well, and obviously, I think the first 3 albums were really not bad. And I think the first 4, I think.
I honestly, it's until we get into, obviously I have a lot of issues with Mori, but of any of the stuff that I listened to of New Odyssey as a child, I did not distinguish it. And I was outside of that 8 to 12 pocket when I was listening to these albums. Basically all of them. I was right on the cusp, and then out of it. But
so album 55 is really when it starts to fall off.
Oh, is that the drop off for you?
I mean, yeah, so that's the deep end, and then 56 is the grand design, which is all right, and then 57 is a call to something more, and then 58 is ties that bind, and then from there it's just I've gone back, I've listened to some of it, and there's parts that I like, but as a whole it just makes me feel sad things most of the time.
Yeah. So there you have it, folks. There's our take on the Odyssey reboot failsafe that they baked in there.
Yeah.
We will be back in a week to talk about, I don't know, an episode of Adventures in Odyssey. Thanks for letting us throw a quickie in here.
Always appreciate a quickie.
Bye, guys.
Bye.